All right, since this guy put a lot of effort in, I'm going to move on to this since we only have like 10 to 15 minutes left. Help me out if I mess it up. Varicose causes implications and treatments for testosterone. This is why I shouldn't be the host, guys. We even talked about it right before the stream. I knew I was going to butcher it an hour later.
It's all right, man. It's all love. The varicoceles, is that what you said?
Varicocele.
Sorry, my headphones went out. You said varicocele, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Obviously.
And so, what was the rest of that question, man? Sorry.
What are the causes, implications, and treatments of the testosterone? He basically wrote a 6-paragraph thing talking about how once they got their varicocele fixed, that their testosterone increased in a meta-analysis of 814 men, leading to about 100 nanogram per deciliter increase in testosterone. Let's see.
So, I mean, ultimately, I wish I had my editor here for this, because I would say, I made a whole video on this. And so, you know, I made a whole video basically around varicocele, because one of the guys on the Getting Bigger, like, you know, made this post about how he did PE and it ruined his life because he developed varicose veins and ended up with a venous leak. But he also had diabetes and other comorbidities, which led him to be more predisposed to this. And so, for those that don't know, varicocele, it's like a varicose vein in your leg. It's just a pooling of the blood. It just happens to be in your testicle. And how do I know if I have a varicocele? If you reach down and grab your scrotum and you feel something that feels like a bag of worms, then you have a varicocele, most likely. That's literally how it's described in the medical literature. Now, where it can become a problem is really 2 ways. Number one, you don't get appropriate blood flow from the varicocele, leading to testicular atrophy, or actually, like the actual volume of the veins actually puts pressure on the testicle and actually leads it to atrophy. And so, atrophy meaning shrinkage. And so, if you have a varicocele, it's causing abnormal testicular function. Once you correct the varicocele and reconnect the blood supply, that's obviously going to correct the testicular issues, and it's going to correct your testosterone. And so, basically, I made a whole video on it. I'm not trying to just like plug my video, but we only have a few minutes left, and so I don't want to waste too much time with that. But you can basically get it embolized or get it surgically corrected. I have a client right now that literally just had one of those procedures like yesterday.
All right. He also mentions about 15% of couples in the United States have trouble conceiving, and looks like varicoceles are 1/3 of the primary cause of infertility in men. Let's see. I guess this is a PSA for varicoceles.
So it's not just varicoceles too. There's actually this like population health crisis that is coming about. Fertility rates in general, especially in men, are decreasing. Yeah. And a lot of that is due to things like what we call parabens, PBA, and basically literally these chemicals that have measurable decreases in testosterone. And once again, I just recorded a video on testosterone today and testicular function, and I'm going to be posting that shortly. But I could break down all of those things. And so there's a lot. The fertility rates are decreasing for a lot of reasons, and I honestly don't think varicocele is the main reason for that, personally.
Right. It might have a slight impact, but it's not going to be the main thing. If you are worried about your fertility, I would suggest getting a little more active, seeing if that increases testosterone, and then that should help with the, you know, entire system of reproductive health. But at the end of the day, if you do have a reproductive issue problem, you need to talk to either an endocrinologist or a specialist for conceiving to see what is actually going on. Fertility clinic is what I'm going to say.
To Hank's point earlier, supplementing with something like T boosters or something like that is, you know, probably, I don't think it's ever going to be a bad idea. But there is, while we do have environmental estrogenic substances and parabens and all those good things, there it still remains this large body of evidence to show that the leading cause of you know, testosterone not being where it should be is just excessive amounts of body fat.
Bingo.
Low amounts of,
and sedentary.
Low amounts. Exactly.
You nailed it.
So what I would say is the number that he cites in here is something like 92 nanograms per deciliter. 97.4 nanograms per deciliter. I mean, depending on where you are on the scale, like if that's a number that's clinically significant to you, it's because you are already way below where you should be. 98 grams per deciliter is not going to make a huge difference for most people. I think it was Dr. John Priesler who wrote the book Interventional Endocrinology, which I read because I am a fucking dork. So that you need something, to the effect of like 100 to nearly 200% more testosterone if you are facing issues like primary hypergonadism. Hank, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but no, that's not necessarily. It seems as if he's trying to make it seem like getting that repair could lead to an increase in testosterone that would increase fertility. And while I'm not saying that that's untrue, I am just saying 98 nanograms per deciliter is really, you could have that much variation in a day or two.
Yeah.
I mean, it is not abnormal for you to see, fluctuations of your testosterone due to things like lack of sleep or overconsumption of caffeine or stimulants or something like that.
Yeah, or just the time you measure the test, actually. I mean, it's a diurnal variation. Yeah.
Absolutely, and a lot of guys might not know that, but your testosterone is primarily produced when you're sleeping, in the later hours of when you're sleeping, and decreases, which is why if you ever go to get your testosterone checked, they'll want to check it as early as possible. Or they will do sequence of mouth swabs. You'll get a take-home test, and you will do it at certain times during the day so they can see the rate of your decline.
I didn't realize testosterone was in saliva.
And I'm going to seem like such a freaking skis bag here. So this stuff, literally, fertility has medically proven literature to increase fertility. So if you're just looking for increased fertility, don't even buy it, dude. Just go on the website and, I made a whole video on all the ingredients, but look at the ingredients and just go into PubMed and search each ingredient and fertility, and you will see that there's an increase in semen production, semen quality, and semen volume. So if fertility is really an issue for you, that can, or something like it, can be a fix. Or Band-Aid.
Beatty sent me a bottle of that a while back, and it really does work. Yeah, I had a vasectomy and I got my girlfriend pregnant. I don't know.
Well, miracle.